Good morning, good afternoon, hi. I don't know when you're watching this, but today we're gonna talk about all of the anti-Mikasa shit that I've been seeing online. It's been a little bit since the end of part 2 has come out, and I've been seeing a lot of content online that's been very anti-Mikasa in the Attack on Titan community. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, this ain't one of those videos. So if you like Mikasa, great. If you don't like her, I would suggest you stay tuned and get educated real quick, because she's a very strong, well-written, and tragic character, and I'm gonna need you to understand why. So stay tuned. I'm about to school you real quick.
Just sit the fuck down.
Cause if you think that she ain't shit, I think you're very, very mistaken. Eren and Mikasa share a bond that is so strong that it's kept them close through a childhood attempt on her life where child traffickers murdered her parents, and through all of the tribulations through their adolescence. People try to say that Eren's destruction of the world was due to Mikasa's answer when he asked her, "Mikasa, what am I to you?" And she just answered with family. Now, don't give me that shit. You know damn well that that answer didn't change what was going to happen. He knew that Mikasa loved him, and he also knew that her answer to him would still be what it was because he had already seen it. But he needed to hear it. He still needed to hear it because he knew that he needed to go down that path that was gonna start the rumbling. I do believe that he needed confirmation. Throughout all of those moments, he was just seeking all of the replays of those things that were going to play out. And that's when he saw that all of his powers were true, and that what was going to ultimately happen was really going to happen. And what I love about Mikasa is that she is a loyal character to a fault, but she is also independent and determined, even when she has to do something that goes against all of her core beliefs. She understands when she has to do something that is really hard, even when it tugs at her heartstrings. This was probably one of the toughest missions of her life, which was the one where she had to end the life of the person that she cared for the most. In Attack on Titan, most of our characters are extremely morally gray. You could say that Mikasa isn't fully good because she was a part of the attack on Liberio. She was part of the assault on her former allies who were Jaegerists. But this has always been the point of Attack on Titan. Are Reiner and Annie not also morally gray? They were brainwashed at some point in their childhoods, and when they return home after their mission from going to Parody, Reiner, obviously, Annie was stuck in that crystal, but when Reiner returns, he feels as though he met people who were just like him, and he had done some of the worst things in his life. So at the end, they see the error in their ways, and they do everything in their power to stop the rumbling. They did think in the beginning, when they're trying to stop Eren, that they could talk their way out of it in the beginning of that battle. But as we've seen before, this isn't something that you can talk your way out of. You're gonna have to fight. In that final battle, Eren unlocks all of these ancient Titan forms that they've never seen before. So when they're in the midst of this ultimate fight, Eren is throwing everything he has at them so that they can finally say, okay, we need to end this. And Mikasa has to say, okay, I'm finally willing to kill him. To anyone that could logically be against a character whose will is that strong is pretty crazy to me. And I'm talking to all of you aunties out there that are making videos just ignoring all of these panels where Mikasa openly disagreed with Eren to his face about the many things that she still stood by his side for, unconditionally helping him through, only because she is loyal to him. But then you see this moment where things diverge. The rumbling is a completely different animal, and Eren knows that. I think this is alluded to in the panels of their dream of running away together and what could have been of their lives had they gone off and stayed together instead of going to war with the Marlians. But the reality is, it could never be. That could never happen. Because Eren knew what the future was that awaited them, and he had to do something to stop it at all costs. So that's why that one panel at the end for me, when Eren opens his eyes, when he's about to die, and he finally locks eyes with her right before she's gonna,
finish him.
It just gives me so many feelings because it is very tragic. She is very loyal to a fault, but this was the one thing that they were never going to agree on. Genocide. But he did it because this cycle of war and violence, this was his vision that he had seen with his powers. They needed to end the war for a large length of time so that Parody could have this, this story of, we saw the tragedy that was coming a long time before it happened. We tried to stop it. It came from within, but we were on the side of the world and we tried to save the world. And that's a very noble story. The Marlians and the Devils of Parody joined forces to, stop the monster that tried to destroy the world. It's just, fuck. You can't tell me that you can hate somebody like Mikasa when she wanted to save the martyr and ultimately just killed the love of her life instead, just to help with saving the world. Come on, guys. Let's think a little more critically here, please. Now, I've seen glimpses of people saying that Mikasa's cold. She doesn't care about anyone. It's like, I don't know. I think we haven't been reading the same manga this entire time. She's very loving, very caring. She loves children, loves her people, loves the people that are from Liberio that she never even met because they're just people like her. What are you talking about? But again, I think it all comes down to people seeing one of their favorite shows end in a way that they weren't expecting and in a way that they didn't want it to end and having a hard time accepting that. So, yeah, that's my story for today. I hope you guys like this video. I'm not sure if this is gonna be received well. I might get hate from the anti-Mikasa people, but whatever. Cry me a river.